Welcome back, guys. We have here with us the Kuna coach and players here. If you guys want to take a second to introduce yourselves and a little bit of a background.
Yeah, I'm Grayson Skimmyhorn, and I play defense.
I'm PJ Sinclair, and I'm a midi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Coach Duke, and this will be my first year with the Kuna High Lacrosse Club.
Nice, yeah. A lot of stuff here. You have a lot of coaching experience, and just kind of to get things started. Like it's your first year coming in as a head coach. What does it look like, and what have you drawn from your other coaching experiences to be able to make this a successful first year?
I think as like with all things, right, being a first year coach or anytime it's your first year situation, right, it's always going to come with a lot of uniqueness, right? Things aren't always going to be planned out, right, how you think things might be. There's a lot of room to grow. Um, I am super grateful for not only the board but the players and the parents to help support in that. Their support has gone a huge part in kind of helping what we can do as a team and what we could do as a club. But on top of that, right, it doesn't matter about your time as long as you're confident in what you can do. Right. I'm confident that these boys not only are great lacrosse players, but by the end of this, right, will be even better and will be even better young men. And I'm grateful also that with my experience, I can help them again, whether big or small, have that impact and help them in their journey of that.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So new coach, emphasis on unity, toughness, collective effort, an aggressive approach to games here. Um, and this is what was cool here. The team mantra, we're all we got and we're all we need. If you want to speak about that and what that means to you guys.
So with that being said, right, we're all that we got and we're all that we need is one of, right, um, when you look at some other programs, right, everyone always talks about, oh, they have so and so player, oh, they have so and so coaching staff, they're great in whatever they do, right? However, I don't think it's about the X's and O's. I think it's about the Jimmies and Joes. I'm more concerned on what we can do on and off the field. And at the end of the day, we're going to win as a team. We're going to compete as a team, and that's all we need. We don't need whoever, some fancy name is, right? We're we're all that we got, right?
Hmm.
And at the end of the day, when we make it state and when we win state, that's all we're gonna need.
That's all you got. Yeah. I like that. I think that's a great mantra. Great way to think about things heading into this. And I've got a couple questions for you guys too. Grayson, you've played a lot of meaningful minutes on defense. How do you kind of help shape and mold the younger guys to be able to, manage the highs and lows and, stay composed?
Um, yeah, I think a lot of it stems from it's like leading positively. Um, a lot of times we can get down on ourselves, and I think that starts with the leaders. I think that when the leaders are down on themselves, so are those younger guys. So yeah, just staying positive at all times.
Yeah. Um, Another one for you here. What defensive habits do you believe like best translate from high school to college? Because you're committed to NNU, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah, what translates?
Um, I think that a big thing is like a lot of off-ball defense stuff, and a lot of communication. Um, I think at the college level, that's one of the biggest things
Hmm.
um, that guys need to have. Everybody's good at on-ball defense in college, um, so yeah, I think communication, if you can, master that.
Yeah. Um, and then question for PJ, are you planning on playing or like what are your plans for after high school with lacrosse?
Right now, I'm not committed anywhere, but I've been talking to some coaches, getting more out there and
Hmm.
kind of seeing where it goes with that.
Nice. Yeah. Um, Another question for Grayson. So with this season, it puts you into more of a leadership role. And what are you doing like to use it to grow? as like a communicator and decision maker, and like kind of what is that going to look like?
Um, yeah, no, I think it kind of goes along with my first answer. Staying positive at all times.
Hmm.
Just when things are down, because I won't be playing this year. From the sideline, just keeping the guys rallied. When stuff gets tough. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Um, Question for coach here. So, as a first-year head coach, what identity are you trying to establish at Kuna, and what are your really what are you trying to instill in these guys?
Well, first and foremost, we're here to compete, right? I think people have had Kino on the back burner for, in my opinion, a little too long. And people kind of had that idea of, well, we're just single A, right? However, I'm here to prove that wrong, and I know the players want to prove that wrong. So with that being said, first and foremost, we're going to compete um, on all aspects of the game, right? It doesn't matter offense, defense, transition, whatever. We always tell the boys we plan on playing for 6 quarters, but the end of the day is like we're playing for 4. When we play these teams, like they have to know we're here to compete. We're not going to push over. We're not going to lie down. Um, I've been known more on like the defensive side of the ball.
Hmm.
So defensively, right? We kind of have this idea of like a +2 mentality. With that being said, our defensive unit, the goal is we're going to have +2 ground balls versus what the other team has. We're going to have +2 cost turnovers what the other team has. From point A to point B, we're going to play as fast and violently as possible within the rules. Um, Offensively, that also comes down to sharing the ball, right? I told the boys this year the goal should be you should be the team leader in assists and not the team leaders in goals, right? We're trying to play very unselfish, trying to get more people to touch the ball. But at the end of the day, um, whether you're single A, double A, whatever, right? As the nicest way I could put it without getting in trouble is watch out, right? Cuna's coming to play.
Yeah,
We're coming to
awesome.
compete. It doesn't matter who you are. We're doing what we can. And for the college coaches or coaches that are at the next level watching, these are going to be some guys you want to watch. These are going to be
Hmm.
some guys where they'll be helpful in your program.
Yeah. Um, yeah, kind of going off that program thing. So, PJ, you were described as a true program guy. What does that mean to you?
Um, I just I love Kuna Lacrosse.
Hmm.
I mean, I've played all 4 years here now, and I just love it here. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I could have, left and went to a different school, but this is my family. This is my home. For
Yeah.
guys that I've grown bonds with is something I wouldn't trade anything for.
Yeah. And kind of like what I was asking Grayson, what does leadership look like for you, uh, like on the field and in practice as well?
Yeah, I mean, he said it like perfectly. Positivity means everything. It truly changes a good practice from a bad practice.
Hmm.
When you can have guys in a good mood, not messing around, but still having fun, enjoying the game that we love to play, and having that opportunity is just like keeping everyone positive.
Yeah, definitely. Switching it back to coach here. So you're a veteran, and my question here is, how's your military background influenced how you lead this group and this young group of men?
First and foremost, that comes with standards. I think that's kind of something. Again, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but I think that's kind of lacking in all aspects when it comes to young men right now. Is we're not really enforcing standards, right? Um, you hear it in all aspects, right? Every day, more and more young men are getting in trouble, um, and doing that. So the first and foremost, it comes with standards, right? Not just standards of play, but ways that we want to carry ourselves on and off the field. I think our guys are doing a great job of that now. And then on top of that, um, I know I'm tough. I know I'm demanding as a coach, but it's not coming from a negative place, but it's coming out of a place of where not only do I want these young men to be as best as they can be, but us as a coaching staff have even said like we want them to be better players and even better young men than what we were at their age. Right. I think at the end of the day, as much as I would love all of them to go play in college or all of them to go become CEOs one day, I think at the end of the day, as long as they're productive, helpful members in their community, they take care of one another, right? Do a good deed daily, then I think we did something right.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, this is for anybody here. Do you guys have matchups that you're really excited about this season? Games that you're really looking forward to?
I think we're excited for every game, just to compete. Um, there's not really anybody in specific. We're just gonna treat every game like it's like the same, you know.
Yeah, I like that. Um, yeah, I'll stick with you here, Grayson. So as you're approaching, you know, going to play at NNU, uh, how are you approaching this year as preparation, like for the expectations that you're going to face at NNU?
Um, I think I think just growing like in my lacrosse IQ. Um, you know, I haven't been able to practice, won't be able to play in games. So seeing things from a different point of view, I think will be really helpful. That,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. And I got another question about the season here for you, Coach. You've talked about building one of the top programs in single A. What has to go right to make that happen?
What has to go right at the end of the day is just a matter of putting the right foot forward, right? But that doesn't start with just the players. That starts with me. That starts with this coaching staff and basically all those that are involved, right? We're very blessed here at CUNA where the community is very involved with each other from all aspects. So I think as long as we're all working together with the same goal of mind of, yeah, we want to, make CUNA not only the best club and team in the single A, but my goal is also the double A, SWILA, state, you name it. But that also just starts with all of us working together.
Hmm.
I can't just have a goal and then the players not, feel that same way or vice versa. We all are attacking this at one day at a time, one step at
Yeah,
a time, and together.
totally. Got a question in the crowd here.
Question from a crowd here. Brandon Cookie, Mountain Lacrosse Network. Uh, as someone that's been watching CUNA lacrosse grow for over a decade, you know, to where we are today, right? We're standing on the shoulders of giants. A lot of folks that put a lot of work in, that grounded out and believed in this, what is CUNA lacrosse. And I think maybe more of a comment and a question and an accolade for PJ here of being called as one of those people that represent that hard work and a program guy. I think, it's a subtle way of saying someone that is a representative of everything that so many people have built for so long. And I just want to say, I want to commend you on being that person to help represent that culture and that build. So keep up the hard work. I know if you keep chewing at it, if you want to play afterwards, I know you can find a way. So thank you for your hard work, and same for CUNA Lacrosse. I'm excited to see this. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
not much of a comment up or question, a lot of comments. So yeah.
Yeah. I got a couple more questions about the season. Um, what do you hope people would say about CUNA Lacrosse by the end of the season?
By the end of the season um, I know a lot of people fight what the polls say. They still kind of have us as like that underdog, right? So one at the end of the season is, holy crap! Not only did they come to compete, but they won, right? And that's the standard that we're building. But again, kind of back to my comment earlier, at the end of the day, right? Whether it's this year, or 5 years down the road, right? When people talk about the players that came out of CUNA High, not only were they great players, but again, they're doing a good turn daily. They're leading their communities with respect, dignity, helping one another, and that's what we're trying to build. So again, as much as I would love to say, will always be remembered for great lacrosse players. I hope that we're remembered more for the better young men that came out of the club.
Yeah. A question for PJ here. What makes CUNA, like this lacrosse team, different from other teams that you've played for, and why?
It's a great question. Uh, our freshman year, I would say we had a good team, but I wouldn't say we were really together. this year I'd say we got a good bond between everyone.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I would just say that this team is one of the better teams that we've had, and I think we can really do a lot with this group of guys that is behind us all.
Yeah, definitely. One
Now,
more question from
one
the
more
crowd.
question from the crowd here. Coach, coming in first year, we got some new coaching staff. I see some of them in the crowd here as well. Tell us a little bit about that coaching staff and some changes that happened with this season.
Might be biased, but we have the best coaching staff in the state. Obviously, me being the new guy, right? It brings its own unique of changes and challenges. But when it came into kind of how this coaching staff was going to be, a lot of it came down to not necessarily again the X's and O's, but more about like the Jimmys and Joes, right? What are the type of young men that we want to lead? So Dylan Self stayed as the OC. Dylan and I are good friends. I'm sad he couldn't make it today, but he got busy with work and some family stuff. But so he stayed. I think Dylan and I will do really good things on the offensive side of the ball. Logan Danefeld is the DC. Again, Logan and I kind of view defense the same way. Very tenacious. We're very aggressive on D, but at the same time, it's more cerebral, right? Versus kind of that cookie cutter defense. Um, Eddie May will be the JV defensive coordinator. Again, play Bighorns with him. I saw the type of guy that he is outside of lacrosse, and I felt like that would be a good mentor for the boys to have and look up to. Again, not someone that's only just like a good lacrosse player, but also a good man in our community. And then Jax Bowen has moved up to be the JV OC and head coach. Again, same boat. Not only was he a great player, but also again just a great guy in general, and something that or a person that all of us boys can look at to and hopefully kind of mirror. That was like a big thing when we chose this staff was yeah, all of us have the accolades, right? I've been a part of some really big teams and programs. Logan's an All-American. Eddie and Jax have been in similar boats, so we all have been able to do some really big things. But it's more about the boys than our accolades.
Awesome. Questions for the players here. What are you guys most excited about coming into this season? And yeah, and why?
Um, I just think this is a fresh coaching staff, but a lot of the same players. Um, so I'm just excited to see, how we all work together. And so far it's been amazing. So I'm just excited to see where we can go with that.
I'm just excited to play lacrosse. I had a little break off, not playing true this last winter, but it really takes a lot to get through that break. And not, just be lazy and do nothing. But yeah, I'm excited to get back into the games and just being around all the guys all the time.
Yeah, definitely. I got a couple more here. What habits, excuse me, what habits matter the most, like in the early phase of the season, and why are they important for you, Coach, or
Okay.
anyone?
Can you repeat the question?
Oh yeah, okay. What habits matter most in the early phases of the season for this team?
One is just kind of reinforcing those standards that we have, right? I know some of them might seem silly, right? But my thing is if you can focus on the small details, right, it'll help build a bigger picture. But then two, right, we always tell the guys, and it doesn't matter what drill, what conditioning, or whatever we're doing, right? You don't need to be an all-star. Just don't quit, right? Time's going to get tough in all aspects of life, right? You might have a really tough test that you're studying for. You might be playing against a really tough team, etc. Right? Just don't quit. Right? Nothing good comes from those that kind of give up on that. So that's kind of been our big focus is just continuing to build on that, and then at the same time, just trusting each other.
Yeah. Question for the players: do you guys have any game day rituals, like just on any given game day?
We do. We have one as a team. We do a team prayer before every game at midfield. We have like a specific line that we say. Um, yeah, it's just kind of something that gets us pumped up and dialed, you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any rituals or anything?
I just don't eat.
You don't eat at
I
all?
don't eat.
Oh,
It's too much nerves built up and everything, and I just can't eat before a game.
yeah, fair enough. Um, yeah. So, Coach, you're coming into this. Is there like key players for us to watch? Really like on the team that we should keep our eyes open for.
I'm going to be biased, but I'm going to say all of them. It doesn't matter on what side of the ball. Um, from varsity to JV, from line 1 to line 2, right? It doesn't matter. We have a bunch of studs. I don't think I would do anyone justice if I started naming off names. But regardless of where you're at, one, if you're another high school coach in SWILA, watch out. And if you're a college coach that is looking at, some guys for your recruiting board, I would say all of them.
Yeah. Well, you guys are entering the season. New coaching staff, unified mindset, with an aggressive focus, and building one of the most premier programs in single A. I want to thank you guys for coming. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, thanks, guys.
Of course, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.